This is a Krautster II from Nik Huber from 2015. I've known Nik, well, I've been a fan of Nik's guitars for a long time. I played a guitar called a Dolphin that he made years ago at Chandler's Guitars. Extraordinary guitar. And since then I played a few other things, and then about 3 years ago I met Nik at Music Messe in Germany, and I just wanted to introduce myself and say I was a big fan of his work. And he was just the best guy, and met Clemens Huber as well. Very funny, Nik Huber and Clemens Huber, not related, but they just happen to have exactly the same last name. But Clemens works for Nik, and so we were talking about guitars, and then last year, in one of our conversations, Nik says, I've got a guitar that I think you'd really like. And I said, I'm sure I will. So he sent me this, and it is just the most extraordinary guitar. So yeah, had to have it. The body is Spanish cedar. The first thing that anyone says when they pick this guitar up is, oh my goodness, it's just so light. And it's ridiculously light. So yeah, Spanish cedar body, the flame maple neck. I mean, just look at that. I don't know if you can pick that up, but oh my goodness, it's incredible. When I got the guitar, it was just perfection, except for the bridge humbucker. I'm very much into vintage specs for humbuckers because I like really bright guitars. What I find with humbuckers is if they're overwound, the first thing that goes is that top end, which is fine for really high gain stuff, but when I need clarity, I really need low wind, sort of vintage PAF style pickups. So Nik sent me this one out and I swapped it in, and it is just perfect. So it's basically his version of a low wind PAF. But apart from that, everything else is as factory. P90 in the neck. It has a coarse bit as well here for the bridge. These vintage Clouson style, I think the Shaler tuners. It's simple, but it's beautiful. It's my favorite new guitar. It is the best neck I've ever played on a new guitar, bar none. It is so comfortable. It's chunky. I like a big chunky neck, like my Les Paul, great big chunky neck. This is just, it is so ridiculously comfortable to play. Intonates perfectly. A lot of people see the single cutaway and the first thing they think is like a Les Paul Junior. Because it's not, obviously it's dead flat, but it's not a Les Paul at all. I think because of the Spanish cedar body, it's more like a Gretsch Duo Jet, that style guitar. It's really bright, and it's just so crazy versatile. I'm going to Japan later on this year, and I get to take two guitars. One will be my Tele, and the other one will be this, because apart from the Telecaster, I can get everything else that I need from this. Incredible beefy rock tones, the P90 in the neck. It's such an amazing sounding, flexible guitar. Because I'm playing this with Tin Spirits, I have it set up in E flat, and therefore I've got you know, the heavy strings, I think 11 to 48 on this at the moment. The action is, I mean, the action's quite high, but because the neck is so good, even with the high action, it is just effortless to play. When I'm playing this, every moment that I'm playing this, I'm so aware that I have something in my hands that is just, it's such quality, and it's rare. Certainly rare for me to find this in a new instrument. The only thing I wanted to change was the small gainy humbucker, which I've done. I love everything about this guitar. It's just wonderful. So no, this guitar will not change at all. Hopefully I won't ding it up too much, because I love the finish. I think it was meant to be like a candy apple red, but it turned out to be like this copper finish, and it's just awesome. So yeah, not changing a thing.